everyone, this is Paul. Welcome back to RC Foam Fighters. Basically this is going to be part 4 of the FF-Sabre Warrior project that I'm working on. I know it's been quite a while since we had a video on this plane. Me and Frank have been super busy, but I'm finally getting back into it. And I'm going to be modifying the design for this. Basically, if you've been kind of keeping up with the last videos, I know they were a couple months ago. I did some test flights of this plane, and it didn't quite fly like I wanted to. I noticed it was getting a lot of pitch up. Basically, I believe it's from all the surfaces on the bottom not really being equal to the top, so we have a different pressure differential between the top and bottom surfaces. So I think it's it's pushing the nose up, and I had to do a lot of trim to the elevator to keep the nose down when I was flying at regular flight. So I've got some design changes that I made. I've drawn up some plans, real basic plans, and I'm going to be rebuilding the plane. And we'll try it out, hopefully see if the modifications will help it fly better. So let's take a look at the real quick SketchUps that I did of the plane and the modifications. Then after that we'll get into building it, and I'll show you where we're at. Alright guys, here's a couple quick sketches that I put together in AutoCAD. Basically the plane on the bottom here, this is the top and bottom views. The bottom one here, this is the first plane that I made, and the top one has the modifications. They're very slight, you can't really notice it unless you look kind of close, but I made modifications to hopefully cure the CG issue, to get the weight a little farther forward, and also to hopefully fix the pitch issue that we had with the nose. First off, I don't know if you can really see real clear here, but this is the bottom view. This is the original design, this is the new design. If you can look here to basically work on the CG issue, I needed to extend the nose out so I can get the battery placed farther forward. So I pretty much extended the nose. As you can see, there's roughly almost a 4-inch difference between where the bottom of the nose from the first plane to the second plane is. The overall shape is fairly similar. I didn't really increase the length of the nose a whole lot. If you can kind of compare it on by this line, basically the overall length of the front of the nose was probably, I don't know, maybe about 1.5 inches. And some of the other modifications I did, if you can see here, I scooted the motor forward too, so hopefully that'll get a little bit closer to the CG line and make it not so tail heavy and get a little more of the weight to the front. The motor was moved forward roughly about 1 inch forward. One real slight modification too, basically I had to do to kind of fit on the foam board, but it will also help get a little bit of weight forward, is I changed how the tail fins, basically they're not hanging out as far back, they're scooted forward just a little bit slightly, so that'll hopefully help a little bit with the weight distribution. Also, if you can see these braces that are on the back of the plane, this was to help make the plane more rigid so it wasn't real flexy, but basically I have these on the top and bottom of the plane. I shortened those by roughly I think about 1.5 inches or something like that, so those are a little bit shorter, so there'll be a little bit less weight also on the back of the plane. So let's kind of look at the top side. What I did on the top side, we were having problems with, like I said, with the not being equal, the pressure on the top and bottom surfaces. I had basically these kind of arches on the bottom originally of the plane, but I didn't have any on the top. So what I did is I modified it. As you can see here, there's none of those arches on the top, and I'm adding basically a second pair of the arches, so the surfaces will be roughly, you know, pretty symmetrical on the top and bottom. So hopefully these surfaces that are right up on the front hitting the air, they'll somewhat be equalized, being the same shape. So that's kind of the plan. I'm hoping that works, so we'll see how it goes. One other modification I did also with the nose, as you can see here, was just like a real simple, basically just came up kind of triangulated like a V shape, the centerpiece. On the new one, it's a little bit different. It's basically got a flat side on the middle of the fuselage, coming up the middle, and that'll create kind of like a big surface up here up the front to hopefully push the nose down a little bit too. And it'll look a little bit different, but I think it'll look pretty similar to what I originally had of this plane. So I'm going to get to building it. Then once I get all the pieces cut out, I'll glue it together. Then I'll put these two planes side by side, and then you can see what it looks like. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got the new plane on the right there and the old plane on the left. Basically, let's take a close-up look and I'll kind of show you the differences like I was just showing you on the paper drawings that I had. Okay, here's a view of the original plane. As you can see, it's just got a kind of pretty much a flat surface on the top on both sides here, and it's got a very skinny, lightly elevated center piece of the fuselage here. Here's the new prototype plane. I don't know if you can see it very clear since it's all white, but there is arches now on the top on both sides instead of it just being flat. And also the centerpiece is definitely it's a little bit taller and more showing, I guess, more elevated. And as you can see, it's basically 3 steps instead of just the 2 on the original plane. So basically this middle surface, hopefully that'll help keep the front end down. Hopefully that'll be somewhat equalized with the scoop on the bottom. So I'm hoping those will help get the front end down and stop pitching up like it did on the original plane. Now on the original plane, again here, just to remind you guys, see I had the arches just on the bottom and none on the top. And I think those are really catching the air and making the pressure unequal. So the new one, as you can see, it's got the arches on the bottom and on the top. So hopefully that'll fix that pitching up issue. I guess we'll find out once I get the plane fully built and test flown. One other quick modification is I didn't really like the way that I had the simple hatch on top. It was just another piece of foam board laid across the top, and it looked kind of hokey. This plane is supposed to be a drone without a pilot for the most part. They supposedly were going to make a version of it with the pilot, but I decided to make the drone without a cockpit. Basically I'm going to stay with that theme on the new one, but I think since it's a flat surface, I'm just going to be able to cut a hatch right into this and have it more smooth and contoured just like the top of the fuselage. So basically I'll just cut a hatch in here. It might just be the width of this, or I might actually come down on the side a little bit. But then that'll just be able to flip up, and I'll probably put a magnet on the back to hold it down. I haven't cut that in yet. We'll probably get to that in the next video. Okay, again, one real quick difference. It's not a whole lot of weight, but basically, as you can see, these rear end stiffeners of the plane that help make the back end more rigid, they extended all the way to the very back. On the new plane, I shortened them up a little bit. Took off, I don't know, maybe about 2 inches off it. So hopefully that'll reduce a tiny bit of weight off the back and make the CG a little bit easier to get to. And again, the prop slot and where the motor is going to mount has been scooted forward about 1 inch. Alright, here's a real quick view of the bottom sides of the planes. As you can see, they're still very similar. I'm not sure if you can really recognize in the video, but as you can see, this scoop on the bottom, it doesn't extend as far forward as on the new plane. So that'll allow me to get the battery basically farther forward. Basically I extended it enough so it would fit like I had on the prototype plane, basically in the same location, but it'll still be concealed with inside the scoop. Before on the prototype plane, I actually had to have the battery pretty much hanging out before I got the proper CG. So hopefully that'll cure that issue. I'm hoping it will. I won't know until I get all the electronics on and get it set up and ready to fly. Okay guys, well that's where we're kind of going to leave off with the video for today. I got the plane all ready, so next steps in the next video, I'm going to be painting this up. I'm going to be trying to do the same type of camouflage as the original plane. Then after I get it all painted up, we're going to start moving all the electronics off the old plane onto this plane. Then we'll get it out and do some test flights. Hopefully all the modifications I made will help cure the way the plane flew and make it a nice flyer. If it seems to work out good, then I'll work on making some final plans and get them available to you guys. Basically that'll be it. And thanks for joining me guys, and I'll see you soon. Oh hey guys, just before you go, I want to put out another reminder for anybody that may have missed it. I'm going to be having a special drawing. Basically it's probably going to go through the end of this month and maybe to the beginning of next month. This drawing is going to be for anybody that's ever built one of our RC Foam Fighters planes, either from the free plans or the pay-for plans. Basically all you got to do to enter this special contest is if you built one of those planes, just send us a picture to rcfoamfighters.com or admin@rcfoamfighters.com and put your name and where you're from in there. And maybe if you want even a little bit about the plane. Then after I get all the pictures, I'm going to put them all in a video, and I'll take all the names that of the people that entered, and I'll put them in a hat, and we'll pick out one lucky winner. I'm not sure what the prize is going to be, but I promise it'll be something pretty cool. And hopefully just to thank you guys that have shared your pictures of your planes. and hopefully to make a cool video. I know it's pretty cool to see all the planes that you guys have made. A lot of you have taken them and modified them, throwing EDFs on them, or even changing the design a little bit. So I think it's kind of cool to share those ideas. So that's kind of why I'm wanting to try and get you guys to send in pictures so we can kind of share these ideas and make a pretty cool video. So please, again, if you're interested in entering this special contest, all you got to do is send a picture of your RC Foam Fighters plane. It's got to be one of the ones from the plans that we've made, either the free plans or with the paid for plans, and just send us a picture of that plane, and then you'll be entered in the contest. Any of you guys who've sent us a picture already before in the past, please just send it to me again, because I'm not sure if you want to be in the contest. So you can even send the same pictures that you sent before, but just send it to me at admin@rcfoamfighters.com and say you want to be entered in the contest. Then when I get to it at the end of the month, like I said, I'll compile a video, and I'll put all the unique names into a hat, and then we'll pick out one lucky winner for some sort of prize. So again, thanks guys. Look forward to seeing all these pictures. I've already gotten quite a few, and hopefully we'll get a bunch more. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.